What's happening, everybody? Sorry, getting a little bumpy start here today. Thank you for joining Pro Surf Blog for some epic surf news for August 2022. So I'd like to talk to you guys today about a few different things, including what you see there behind me, which is the US Open Huntington Beach. Well, this particular is the Vans Duct Tape Invitational. So as you can see there, we've got the girls in the water right now, and they are actually just dancing all around. Look at that, Huntington beach break style, just going big. So that's super awesome. So thanks a lot for joining Pro Surf Blog again today. Appreciate it. This year didn't get down to the comp. We got Steven back down there though, and he sent us a couple pics that we're going to go ahead and share with everybody in a few minutes. And but other than that, basically there's been 4 to 6 foot waves, a bunch of current, at least in the days leading up to today. It's calmed down a little bit. There was some, pretty big faces that guys were in the shortboard Challenger series were, doing one maneuver, hit the lip and try to pull that off. And so we saw quite a bit of that, a lot of running down the beach after each wave to go, jump back in the ocean and let the current bring them back to the competition spot. So pretty cool, but also, might make you feel appreciative of where you're surfing at instead. With that said, of course, with that current, and that's the main reason I'd probably say that. But the current has actually pulled a few competitors into the pier pilings. So some people have paid the price, some women out there, shortboarders. Today we've had several boards broken, actually through the event, boards broken. But today as well, with the duct tape longboarding, a couple of those boards as well. So there's definitely been some carnage, some mayhem, chaos. And at the same time, there's been some pretty cool maneuvers and style being exhibited. So definitely got to check it out, get an idea for what's going on over there. A lot of the waves that were scored in the shortboarding division earlier this week were kind of one maneuver scores. So somebody drops in, bottom turn, hits the lip, comes down, and they might get a 5.8 or something of that sort. Today, as I mentioned, the longboarding has been underway, and a couple of competitors that have been doing pretty well, at least that I was able to witness on the webcast, were Tosh, Tudor, Harrison, Roach, of course, Justin Quintal, who's a champion out there, and Taylor Jensen. Got to give a shout out to Taylor Jensen, coming out of Oceanside, Australia. Native before that, I believe, but he is out there. I love how he surfs. This guy can go walk it to the nose, switch stance, drop knee, but at the same time, he can literally bust in air and stick it on a longboard. So I know there's like this movement to not score. I don't know if you call it progressive surfing or maybe a little bit more aggressive aerial attacks, but basically, even if they're not scoring it, the reality is that not very many people can do it. So in shortboarding in the past, we've seen where they didn't want to score it for a long time. And there's a bunch of conspiracy theories as to why they weren't scoring it. But I'm not really going to go deep into that. I'm just going to say that it's possible that longboarding could change to have the scoring reflect larger scores for such maneuvers. And, in my opinion, I think that the world can coexist between, stylish, graceful surfing and water dancing, and also include progressive maneuvers that are extremely difficult to do on a longboard. So, it's kind of one of those things where probably a lot of people on tour want it to be scored a certain way, more traditional. At the same time, those people, they can't really detract too much from people like Taylor Jensen, because if you see him surf and you're out in the water with him, you're definitely awestruck. So I'm sure that goes for shortboarders and longboarders alike who see him surf. So shout out to Taylor Jensen. Not so much on the longboard side, but before I move on the shortboard side, I'm going to have to give shout outs to Catiy Simmers as well. Catiy Simmers, up and coming Grom out of Oceanside. And even though she's a Grom, she's actually competing against, top tier professionals out there. And I think she's going to be the next champ, or, at some point in the near future. She's got great attitude, great training, and she just attacks, waves and waves of consequence. And also someone who, if you're in the water with her, is very impressive. She surfs better than a lot of people I know, of course. So with that said, I am going to try and share, let's see here. I'll go here. There's the shout out there. Catiy Simmers throwing the shaka out. This picture here by Stephen Back. He's just ravaging. He's Oceanside South Jetty local. And as he always says, South Jetty is firing. So he's giving away the secret spot. He's like, come get it. It's firing. And he's probably going to be there, and he's going to be jockeying for waves. But he is a fan of the sport. He's a fan of surfing lifestyle. And so he's out there at the US Open today. And of course, he ran up on Catiy Simmers because she's always surfing South Jetty and in the area in general. And she's out there representing for Oceanside, like Taylor Jensen today. So shout out to Catiy, supercharger. We want to see her come up. So in terms of something I mentioned earlier, which was boards being broken, Stephen Back on the scene again. Look at this longboard. You got the junior lifeguard Groms showing up behind there in the background. But check this out. They recovered this thing on the beach. Beautiful board. Stringer with the pink and brown. And look at that thing. The guy's holding the nose half of that surfboard, basically just right down the middle. I mean, I don't know if you could salvage that. Some people do kind of Frankenstein those things back together, but I would say that board is probably toast. So pretty cool. Stephen Back getting the action down there on the beach in Huntington. So if you see him down there, give him a shout out. Rough them up, go buy them a beer at the local bar, or maybe in O'Doul's, actually get them in O'Doul's. And so you can see here behind me, longboarding is just going off constantly. So, this is part of basically this longboard part here is part of pretty much professional upper tier, top tier surfing contests. So whereas the shortboarding is called Challenger Series these days, right? So it's somewhere in between championship tour, top level, and then qualifying series. So things are always shifting around in that world, and that's how it goes. But basically, this contest runs through Sunday. So right now, it's just starting to heat up. Funny thing is that, a lot of times it ends up on end of day on Sunday. So conditions could be windy and bumpy. So whoever's made it through the whole thing, they really have to show up and prove in usually some challenging conditions. So if you have a chance, get down to Huntington Beach. It's going to be a zoo this weekend, I'm sure. And yeah, I'm sure you'll have fun. According to BeachGrit, well, actually back up, Vans is the sponsor of the US Open Huntington Beach. So with that said, according to BeachGrit, Quiksilver, Billabong, and Ruka might come under the Vans umbrella in terms of acquisitions, maybe in the near future. So pretty interesting there. That kind of lines up or coincides with the recent announcement from WSL about the Quiksilver Pro France being canceled. So I know a lot of fans out there, probably European fans, people from France, that are really bummed that WSL is not going to be coming back with the CT, the top tier surfers in the world this year. So they kind of noted that maybe there was, some things that didn't make financial sense. It's unclear whether that's local support or if that's maybe changes happening with the Quiksilver, Billabong, Ruka world there. So probably some correlation, but you'll have to kind of look more into that or question the powers that be to find out the real. So in terms of longboarding, which is still happening, there you go right there. Look at coming out. I wonder if she won. Maybe she's probably waiting for the scores. So a lot of these competitors, or some of these competitors that you're seeing here today in the US Open, are actually going to be showing up at a club contest. Okay, so club contests, right? They're not part of the World Surf League circuit. Basically, clubs from all over the world in their regions, in their areas, typically will put on contests and invite all the other clubs to come compete, when they get their permits in their local area set straight. So in this case, Oceanside Longboard Surfing Club, just legends and rippers in the club, always representing, everywhere. They are holding an event at the Oceanside Pier. That's going to be August 12th through the 14th. So if you get a chance, you get down there. They're doing a bunch of renovations in the area. Oceanside has changed quite a bit if you haven't been down in a while. It's almost has that Huntington kind of development vibe where there's a bunch of bigger hotels that have been put into place, a bunch of kind of, mid-tier restaurants and different varieties of, entertainment on offer in the area. So if you come down, be ready to, have a good time, hang out, get some tacos and whatnot. So this particular contest is called the King and Queen of the Pier. So that's kind of the title people are vying for on one part of the comp. So it's a Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So I encourage you to come down, check that out. You'll have people like Kevin Svarna, who just won the Vans Duct Tape in South Africa. So you're going to have legends on tap vying for it. There's everybody on the list. There's a list. If you go to the website, you can get a tentative roster of who's going to be in the comp, and it's pretty impressive. It definitely is vying, for reputation as just like the contest you're watching here at Vans US Open. And I would say almost maybe just as much prestige in terms of the local surfing community. So so check that out. I might actually be down there lurking around, getting some footage, maybe some interviews. The hard part is that, if there's waves, I'm gonna have to manage my own surfing time with the time documenting some of this epic action that's going to be taking place. So outside of that, there's more local news. Well, let me back up. As you guys have noticed, possibly, or you've followed along, is the coverage I'm doing here at Epic Surf News has been more and more focused on local surfers, real surfers, regular surfers, people just, more community oriented in terms of surfing and less contest oriented. So Originally, years ago, I was covering more contest action, which I still really appreciate, and I'm a huge fan of competitive surfing. But I was doing it at a time when the webcast didn't really exist, or was stumbling, trying to come online, having quite a bit of growing pains in terms of not only technology, but actually how to run and manage and best, shoot the event and document the event. So, luckily I'm old enough and had the ability and availability back in the day to basically, catch a lot of this action and drama and, just lifestyle before the webcast. And I'm super stoked that WSL has, really made this thing awesome in terms of being a viewer or a fan at home. The camera angles, the multiple cameras, the people who are talking, commentators, the hosts. It's an amazing operation where they bring this thing to life and then break it down and set up shop, in another location around the world typically. So I'm super stoked for that. And at the same time, some of the motivation for me has kind of dropped off as well, because now that they have things together, they're less excited about someone like myself or anybody out there who documents it directly, who then, like, let's say, publishes it to YouTube like you're watching now, and then tries to make some earnings from YouTube on the content. So basically WSL kind of gave us the green light to hey, work with what we have from the past and during those times, but going forward, if we do any content that's at the contest with surfers in jerseys, or actually competing in the contest, that they will take the earnings from those videos. So which is basically in any other sport, that's kind of how it works. Surfing has always been tricky because you're in a public domain, but at the same time, I can understand and I can appreciate that. And again, I'm just like super I'm happy and honored to have been part of this competitive surfing documentation that's occurred at a time or at a bridge when it was needed. And so, yeah, so basically, if you go to Epic Surf News on YouTube, as you're watching here, go check out, we've got a bunch of old content from US Open, lowers, with QS and CT content, and Supergirl Pro. We've been doing that for a very, very long time. And so you will see a lot of content there from the past. Got a sick library broken down by every year and location. So I would really appreciate, go check that out, watch it, comment, like, subscribe. All that stuff tickles the algorithms. I've been kind of sharing that lately. And that lets other people like yourself know that, hey, there's this content over there, because the matrix will go ahead and, move people that direction. So that will help us, seeing that we can actually earn money off a lot of that content, which is awesome. So check that out. In terms of, let me see here, I'm going to share another screen here. Well, this is US Open. That's the website. They got Jensen Quintal on the cover there. He's from Florida. Guy's amazing ripper. I mean, he just seems like a normal guy, but man, he throws down. He's got some style. So back to what I was sharing though, in terms of Epic Surf News on YouTube, 2.75 thousand subscribers. So stoked with that. You guys are amazing. You guys are awesome. I mean, been around for, I don't know, over a decade and a half. I don't know. It's a long time, very long time putting videos up. You can go find out, go look at the old ones. So that number is like huge for us. It may not be huge in terms of other major accounts on YouTube, but I'll tell you, that's a real solid fan base right there. That's all real people. We don't mess around. We don't buy subscribers, man. That's not how we roll. Basically, those are all people that either found us and liked us online or have met personally in the lineup on the beach. Every different level of person, newbies, groms, old guys, old women, longboarders, shortboarders, hybriders. I mean, just everybody, right? So really appreciate everybody's interest and support with our content, and always keeping the vibe super positive. It's really cool. So what you can see here is you can see kind of, just by looking at the recent videos that we posted, that a lot of this is reflective of what I was saying in terms of where our focus has been in terms of surfing. So, I mean, the most recent one here is called Frothiest Rides, Editor's Choice, right? So different levels of people in that one. You're not going to see Felipe Toledo busting 360 airs per se, but you'll see some really fun rides in that one. We got John Freeman, Kook of the Day. We think it's probably the biggest day he's ever surfed, or at least recorded. We're going to claim that part, at least recorded. So if you see John, tell him you saw the biggest day he ever surfed in his life and see what he says. I don't know. Maybe he'll own it. Maybe he'll deny it. We'll have to find out. Creatures of Sano, another Instagram, super comedy Instagram account. We recorded a couple scenes from Sano and kind of gave a homage to Creatures of Sano in that one. Oceanside Longboard Surfing Club. That's from the most recent general meeting in Oceanside on the beach, or across the street from the beach. And all the legends were there. Kevin Svarna, Michael Takayama, as you see there pictured. And so there's some scenes there, a 10-minute video, basically some of the general information that taken place, including proposals to build jetties in Oceanside, much like you see in Newport Beach. And they also talk about the upcoming surfing contest a bit in there. And Kevin's, they talked to him about what happened in South Africa at the Duct Tape Invitational there. So you can kind of get a little peek into what club life and club meetings are about. If you're, a surfer in any coastal community, I encourage you to get involved with, there's longboard clubs. There's a lot of times board rider clubs, they call them, mostly shortboard people in those, and a variety of other ways to get involved with the surfing community without just going to the beach and taking waves. Yeah, Bobby Hasbrook, a nice, super, really good surfer. We got some stuff of him. The recent swell in July, Southern California, they were calling it Code Red everywhere. I don't know if it was Code Red in Southern California, but it was definitely fun. So you could check that out. It's 4 different days of the swell. And then we had some outtakes from different surfers that, either are super stoked on Epic Surf News or just stand out, surfing good. Also, a recent Epic Surf News episode was held in a board meeting format, and that was with Mitch Farner and Liam O'Callahan. You got to check that one out. That one's a little over an hour long. Mitch basically was surfing lowers and broke his ribs surfing a longboard over there, and he's got a whole story about that, and Liam was involved, and Liam helped rescue Mitch. So if you want to hear about that experience that they shared, they're both in the board meeting and sharing about it, as well as just we're sharing about safety in terms of surfing, training, and things like that. So both these guys are amazing surfers, surf, a bunch of different size waves, everything from 1 foot to probably 25 foot. So pretty cool stuff, real surfers doing their thing. If you go back far enough, I buried it by putting up a bunch of other videos, but there's a couple of videos of myself surfing in during that swell. So go check it out. I beat up two of my favorite boards right before and right on the first day of the swell. So I'm actually surfing a 7.4. It's kind of like a thin, high performance mini longboard shape. Like, I don't want to say fun board because the connotation, you guys are all rippers out there, but it's kind of a fun board shape, just thin. So I had to surf that thing and I had a blast. One of the brothers, Anthony, scored some cell phone footage, and then also Ghetto Zoom on Instagram. He scored some footage of me surfing too. Those were within a couple days of each other. So you can kind of see two different versions or styles of filming on my waves, and you can laugh at my poo stance or freaking give me a shout out for, turning under the lip or sort of under the lip. What is it called? Maybe 145, 215, turning at those times of the clock. So check that out. I have a bunch of other collab videos that I've done with Ghetto Zoom over the last couple months as well. So he likes to focus his energy down at four doors quite a bit, a little bit of old man's as well. And so he's got a bunch of great footage, bunch of super high performance freestyle longboarding, fun, really fun stuff. So you should check out his content directly. He's got a YouTube channel and an Instagram, but he's sent me some files and I did some editing on them. So we kind of came together. And so I've published some of those already on the channel if you dig down. And I have, a handful more on the editing table that'll come out, I don't know, probably over the next couple of weeks as time permits. So look out for those. Really cool stuff, a bunch of local heroes and some international names as well in those clips. There's also a couple wave pool videos as well. So if you look in there, you'll find if you come, I'll show you guys how to use YouTube right now, huh? Look at, boom, I'm gonna go right here, type wave pool, see what happens. Boom. Oh, I got some old stuff. Look at that, 2013, dude. I was on it talking about wave pool stuff, demos. Look at that. And then Kelly Slater, I hit that pool. I didn't surf it, too cheap, I'm not sponsored like all these other people you see surfing it. So I went there and watched. But there's a bunch of videos, including all the way up to talking about the wave pool that's coming to Oceanside, right? It's coming right up the street from Oceanside Harbor, couple miles from where I live, which is awesome. I'm going to be up there tuning my skills, figuring stuff out. So you could definitely search those. I'm just scrolling here. It just goes on for days, right? So tons of stuff about wave pools in there, including this local one. I'm going to put in camp because that's what, let's see here. Try that again, camp. Okay, so here we go. Look at this right here. Right here, this video right here, 3 months ago, I was rapping about it, showing you all the stuff, basically all the intel. They're going to have hotels, condos, Airstream campers. They're going to have concerts, and instead of teaming up with one brewery, they're going to have a tap from like all the local breweries. As you know, San Diego and Southern California is a brewery haven. So they're basically figuring out ways to integrate with the entire local communities, which is really awesome. So anyways, you can find out a bunch of information about that. What's funny is that Inertia posted the other day an article about the wave pools coming, and that they got some approval. Like, there's a bunch of different steps to this thing, right? So my phone's blowing up for days. Oh, hey, you're getting that wave pool for real, for real. I'm like, yeah, but I'm like, people believed it when Inertia told them, right? Like, I've been saying it for a long time, and that's why they're hitting me up though, right? Because they're kind of stoked too. But it's funny, man. People believe in Inertia, man. They're a little late to the game. No hating on them, but a little late to the game. Yeah, you can see kind of the whole lead up to it. I'm going to keep covering it. I put my boots to the ground, my booties, surf booties to the ground, and get the intel. And I live right there, dog. It's going down. I'm going to the wave pool when it opens, right? So yeah, check out my videos, comment, like, all that stuff, man. You got to let them know. So I'll keep coming back with more hits in terms of that wave pool. So finally here, zooming into like local surfing, right? Basically, I've been in transition, learning to surf bigger boards, being a shortboard guy, aggressive, Southside Huntington Beach, uppers, trestles. I mean, I don't know, man. Just the shortboard lifestyle. Even if you don't shortboard, you know what I'm talking about. So I did that forever, right? Been working my way up, and as I shared a little while ago, I was surfing the last swell on probably the biggest board I've ever used on, let's call it head high plus waves, and so it was pretty cool. And I've been working my way up. I have a lot of respect for like the people back there in the US Open using big boards in a place like Huntington Beach. Guys like Mitch Farner, who in some of those interviews talked about his surfing at Black's, which I actually got to witness with my own eyes on the beach or in the water, surfing amazing on a longboard. So anyhow, I had to re-examine my quiver, right? So I'm in the half a century club now, so I'm not a young buck, but I've got all kinds of boards and boards I was using, and possibly boards I'd still be using today if this kind of trend to use hybrids and bigger boards and more foam didn't happen, right? Because I'd be kind of contending with other people with short boards, and maybe I could still hold my own as the old guy. But young guys on big boards, definitely a challenge. So I've been bulking up, and that was my path anyhow. So basically what happened is I had to go through my quiver. I got like 3 surfboards. I haven't ridden, and I couldn't even tell you how long it's been. So I took them out, scraped them up, took the wax off, took the fins off, took the leashes off. And one of them needed repair. I didn't even realize. I just kind of probably threw it in the bin and didn't think about it. Repaired one. So I got these 3 surfboards. They're basically, one guy's shaper out of Huntington Beach, Larry. That's a shortboard traditional pointy 5.9, all EPS. All my boards are EPS. So this was EPS. And then I got 2 kind of round nose 5.4s that I got from Tony Caramagna, and he's based out of San Marcos, Carlsbad, local shaper, doing a lot of bigger boards, a lot of boards in general, just super awesome boards. So I'm going to kind of show you one of them. So basically what I'm saying is I'm selling these things. I think I'm selling them. I can change my mind. I might build a shed, but it's most likely I'm going to sell them as I'm picking up some new boards in the quiver eventually. So if you're interested, hit me up on IG, DM me. I don't want tons of money. Each board has a board bag. So they have that. They have track pad, various conditions. This one here is one of the 5.4 round noses. So you can see that there. And if you see, I see those channels right there. And you got the 5-fin option. I usually wrote it as a quad. You can thruster them. I mean, you can do anything you want, basically. Oh, look at this. Little carbon fiber strips because you're so powerful. Look at that. On the deck, too, because you're freaking just pushing, stomping. That's what you're going to do on this board. I can imagine it already. So if you got interest, hit me up. If I keep them, or rather, if I don't sell them, if there's anybody out there who wants to partner up, I don't know. Maybe I'd be interested in raffling some of them off. I don't know, giving them away or something, right? Still got a Grom. Oh, well, here's the thing. Okay, here's the thing right here. Let me show you something. Where I put it away. Oh, wow. Snap. This one right here doesn't have my logo. Usually I put Pro Surf Blog or Epic Surf News on the boards, and this one doesn't have it. So if you don't want to claim, this actually one of the three, this is the one to get. If you want to claim or you want some collector's item, the other ones actually have the website or branding on the board. Yeah, so you'll actually have a collector's item, maybe, right? So there you go. Yeah, they all come with board bag complete. Look at that. Just put it right there, cozy, next to the other boards. So yeah, so hit me up. Yeah, talk me into it. I'm gonna stop sharing that screen right there. Well, everybody, that pretty much wraps up. Wow, you see that closeout? That wraps up today's episode of Epic Surf News. What I'd like to tell you is hit us on Instagram. Definitely follow us over there because we put different updates. You can find us on Facebook as well, and there's different content there. Everything's similar but different, right? On all three locations. So check us out there. I'm going to be back, like I said, with more collabs with Ghetto Zoom, and you're going to get more wave pool updates as well. And if you check the social media, we'll probably have some more updates related to the US Open. So appreciate that, everybody. You have a really awesome day, and keep surfing, keep the vibes super stoked. Do you have a good time? If you're out there being grumpy, I mean, like, just go home, right? Like, just go watch like reruns or go watch my videos or something. I don't know. But yeah, stay stoked in the water, share a wave, give a wave away, right? Let's keep this moving, man. I saw, yeah, before I let you out, Dane Gudauskas was actually guest commentating for the longboarding. So if you see a replay on today's action, you'll see him there, and he's talking about even his longboarding fun that he likes to do as well, and learn about that and his appreciation for the sport. And I'm sure if you've seen him out in the water, you might have seen him on a pretty big board from time to time. So yeah, thanks. Good job, Dame. Positive Vibe Warriors. Check him out. Great organization, doing good stuff in the community as well. Everybody, thank you so much. Have a nice